guys, hope you all are fine in the current scenario and staying safely. You know, I am coming with the various subjects topics in medical, pharmacy and life science divisions one by one in medicine form only for you. So guys, Shirley Dash is welcoming you at the Pharmacy Crash Course division in the Knowledge Club online. I promised in previous lecture to give you a very easy lecture on the anatomy physiology subject. Today I came with the subject topic heart. Our heart, the functional anatomy of the heart. Don't skip the lecture, stay tuned up to the end. If you skip, you can miss a valuable point. So stay tuned up to the end. The heart is shaped like a cone and is only about the size of your fist. It lies between your lungs, just behind or posterior to your sternum, and the tip or apex of the cone points to the left. In most individuals, the heart is situated slightly to the left of center in the chest. The four hollow spaces of the heart are called its chamber. The heart is divided anatomically and functionally into left and right sides. Each side has one atrium and one ventricle, each with a separate function. A membrane called the interarterial septum separates the arteria. A membrane called the interventricular septum separates the ventricles. The contraction of the heart muscle pumps blood into and out of all four chambers in a rhythmic pattern. Left ventricle is thicker and stronger as it has to work hard to move the blood through the systemic circulation. The right ventricle, which maintains the supply only to the pulmonary circulation, is thinner and weaker than the left. So, the heart is composed of four chambers or cavities: left ventricle, left atrium, right ventricle and right atrium. The heart is composed of two pumps in a series. The right pump is the right ventricle, which is helped by its booster pump, the right atrium, whereas the left ventricle forms the left pump and its booster pump is the left atrium. The venous blood from the systemic circulation collects in the right atrium through two great veins, the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. From the right atrium, the blood goes through the right atrioventricular opening into the right ventricles, which in turn pumps the blood into the pulmonary circulation. From the pulmonary circulation of lungs, the blood is collected in the left atrium through four pulmonary veins. Blood from the left atrium enters in the left ventricle through the left atrioventricular opening. Then the left ventricle ejects the blood into the ascending aorta for distribution in the systemic circulation. Between the chambers are several valves that allow measured quantities of blood to flow into the chambers and keep blood flowing in the right direction. The valves' names tell you their anatomical location or characteristics. Like the two atrioventricular or AV valves lies between the atrium and the ventricle on each side. The bicuspid valve BV has two flaps and the tricuspid valve TV has three flaps. Next one, the semilunar valves SV are shaped like half moons. Atrioventricular valves. The atrioventricular valves are located between the atria and the ventricles. They close during the start of ventricular contraction, means systole, producing the first heart sound. There are two AV valves. One is tricuspid valve, another is bicuspid or mitral valve. So the tricuspid valve is located between the right atrium and the right ventricle. That is called the right atrioventricular orifice. It consists of three cusps, means anterior, septal and posterior, with the base of each cusp anchored to a fibrous ring that surrounded the orifice. Next, mitral valve, located between the left atrium and the left ventricle, left atrioventricular orifice. It is also known as the bicuspid valve because it has two cusps. One is anterior and one is posterior. Like the tricuspid valve, the base of each cusp is secured to fibrous ring that surrounded the orifice. The mitral and tricuspid valves are supported by the attachment of fibrous cords, cordae tendineae, to the free edges of the valve cusps. The cordae tendineae are in turn attached to papillary muscles located on the interior surface of the ventricles. These muscles contract during ventricular systole to prevent prolapse of the valve leaflets into the atria. There are 5 papillary muscles in total. 3 are located in the right ventricle and support the tricuspid valve. The remaining 2 are located within the left ventricle and act on the mitral valve. Next, going to the semilunar valves. The semilunar valves are located between the ventricles and outflow vessels. They close at the beginning of ventricular relaxation, means diastole, producing the second heart sounds. There are 2 semilunar valves. One is pulmonary valve, second one is aortic valve. Pulmonary valve is located between the right ventricle and the pulmonary trunk, means pulmonary orifice. The valve consists of 3 cusps, left, right and anterior, named by their position in the foetus before the heart undergoes rotation. Next, aortic valve is located between the left ventricle and the ascending aorta, means aortic orifice. The aortic valve consists of 3 cusps, right, left and posterior. The left and right aortic sinuses mark the origin of the left and right coronary arteries. As blood recoils during ventricular diastole, it fills the aortic sinuses and enters the coronary arteries to supply the myocardium. The pulmonary and aortic valves have a similar structure. The sides of each valve leaflets are attached to the walls of the outflow vessels, which is slightly dilated to form a sinus. The free superior edge of each leaflet is thickened, the lunule, and is widest in the midline, the nodule. At the beginning of ventricular diastole, blood flows back towards the heart, filling the sinus and pushing the valve cusp together. This closes the valve. Revise it. I am damn sure you require less than 5 minutes to remember all the structure of the heart. Write me at the comment box how much time you take to remember all the structure of the heart. after viewing or following this video. Before ending today's episode, if you like our video, please like, share and comment freely in the comment box. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. If you already subscribed, then thanks a lot. After subscribing our channel, please click on the bell button for getting the updates regularly. One announcement here. If you and your family members have interest in the Indian history, then you can follow our another division Itihash Kotha, where the narrator name is Mr. Soumitra Banerjee, where you can get the true history of the Indian history. I am coming with another video very shortly on heart, tissues and muscles of the heart anatomy. So till then, goodbye.